What a new traveler. So I am in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, on my way to Jamaica. I'm sitting here in this airport on a 6-hour layover. And it's actually really interesting because a thought just occurred to me. I'm sitting there over near my terminal, watching people flow in, getting ready to get on the flight to Montego Bay, and I realize this is my first time ever flying to a country that is predominantly black people. Now it's weird because I spent so much time in Asia, I spent a lot of time in the Middle East, and last year I pretty much went everywhere in South America, but I've never really been to anywhere. I've been to Africa, but only to Egypt, which is very much Middle Eastern. And I've never really been anywhere in the Caribbean islands, which is predominantly black. So it's already interesting seeing people swelling in to catch the flight that look like me. I feel like that's going to be a very interesting cultural experience in its own for me. But I've always had this affinity for Jamaica. I don't know what it is about Jamaican people. Something about their swagger or their accent or something. I've always joked and said that one day I'm going to hustle until I end up in Jamaica or jail because I don't know which way I'm going to end up going. But Jamaica's always seemed like the promised land for me, which is really weird because I've never been there. I mean, Puerto Rico was the first Caribbean island I've ever been to. So every year I do a different region of the world. Usually I go to Asia. Last year I did South America, done the Middle East a couple times, but this is my first time even doing the Caribbean. Now the weird thing about that is that it's so close, and I've always said I'm saving the close stuff for last, because I say right now I have the health and the means to go anywhere in the world, so why go to my own backyard? Like, I live in Las Vegas and I've never even been to the Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon is like a 3-hour drive, but I'm just like, one day I'll be old and broke and the Grand Canyon will still be there. Like, there's no terrorist attack in the world that can fill the Grand Canyon, so I'm not in any hurry. So this trip, it's actually going to be interesting because I have it arranged to where, like I said before, I'm going to go down to Jamaica. I'm actually starting in Montego Bay, but just for a weekend. I was fortunate enough to be put in a Facebook group for people who live in Negril. So I have already made quite a few friends out there. I've had people invite me to dinner. It's going to be really interesting. And then, of course, I'm going to go to Kingston and really try and dig into this whole dance hall culture, because that's something that's always my favorite kind of music. And I'm very interested in seeing what that culture is like. So, I've actually already caught a lot of flack from people because I know a lot of Americans have been to Jamaica and that sounds so boring to them, but I don't know if they've been to Jamaica the way I'm gonna go to Jamaica, because I'm not too big on being on the tourist trail. So I'm gonna see how far I can get off the tourist trail, see if I can find some serious adventure, and see if I can get into a little bit of trouble. But no matter what, I'm going down there to get my open water certification for scuba diving. And if I don't end up staying there long term, I'll be off to the Bahamas to go shark diving. But I always say I'm going to keep traveling until I find money or love. It's the only two things that can stop me from traveling. So I'm waiting on this flight, and that's about it. Just want to let you all know that next stop will be Jamaica.